Madden's got the ground game. It's the coach. You're locked into Madden 19.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California.
Go for it.
Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Oakland Raiders. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
Carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
What the fuck?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second
That
down.
game just keeps saying no.
And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them.
There's no scratches or anything on it, is there?
They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good
Where's
playmakers
Marshawn
on the
Lynch
offensive
at?
side of the ball. I don't know what happened last
Oh,
week.
no,
they're tired.
Hurt their performance and hold
They
down
got
their
Blount.
production, but I would dare say that this week in
Yeah.
practice, there's a lot of
I made
talk
them
about how
pay.
they're gonna increase efficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think
I
the
am
coaching staff
broadcasting
really
this.
gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are
Okay.
self-motivated,
I know you're
have a lot of
busy, but
pride in their performance.
Now a look at the Chargers starting 11 on defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but if they have any hopes of making waves in January, they've got to improve in this area.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
God.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of NC State.
I got 13 touchdowns and 16 interceptions.
Watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
What, Rivers?
He really
Yeah.
was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball.
You don't
want
wanna know what Alex Smith
One
is at.
touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that.
I don't even
Doesn't
know
put
how
them
many
in bad
touchdowns he ended
situations.
with in the last game, so.
So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. With that, let's check out how the Chargers line up on offense.
I have to admit, I've rather enjoyed watching Melvin Gordon's improvement as he's developed as an NFL player because it started for me in college. Every year he was in school, he would add something extra to his game. First year, he knew how to run. He wanted to add pass receiving to his game. The next year, he wanted to add pass protection to his game. Did all of that. That turned him into a first-rounder, and now a front-line NFL back.
Rivers to Benjamin, good for the Charger first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A big play there by Gordon. 45 yards on the ground. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Ooh, I have a thought.
What's your thought?
Rivers now, the throw on first down. Looking for Allen, he's got him on the slant. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line.
I give you credit for this because you taught me how to adjust a single player's route.
127 yards.
That's what I did. Because for some reason in that particular formation, the computer doesn't line up any of the players to that receiver, and they just let him go. Oh,
and he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, a 15-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead.
This is pissing me off.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. Sturgis for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
Okay, this is how it always works.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off.
The first drive that my defense is on, they do great.
This will be taken.
Next time they're up, they suck balls.
And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go
Dallas is 11-5.
Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Carr to throw on second down. Caught by Nelson left side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Yeah, they beat New England last week.
From the gun on third down. And he couldn't
That's
hang
right.
on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And this passing game, this whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the second time.
Wow, right on the goal line.
Now Benjamin uses the spin. And
Thank you.
Bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask certainly helps things as they'll start up past the 30 on first down.
Ready. 380.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Flushed out right. He's got his man complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. They give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now Gordon on first down.
Shit.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot, but what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Melvin Gordon with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun.
The fuck?
Go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one. And what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Gran Turismo refuses to work.
To a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Not that old.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
No, I bought that brand new.
Tackle made by Brian Orakpo.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that
but there's
opportunity
still no
later on
scratches
when you
or
can play
anything
action
on it.
them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Corey Liggett makes the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a
I'm gonna-
priority before moving up to the next level because the
Let me
big
try
fella, he just
restart
ate
that.
that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted.
No.
Picked off by Casey Hayward. Intended that time for Cooper. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs
I'll be
multiple
back.
takeaways, multiple big plays,
I'll
things that
be
get our
back.
attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns. Back now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. Rivers to throw it. Allen's got it over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rivers now going underneath for Gordon, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Gordon, and that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Damn it.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Rivers with a 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Rivers.
Oh,
Couldn't quite
man.
hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Rivers. And it's complete. Henry. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They go play action here on 1st down. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
That's not
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And Beasley with it over the middle. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it? It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game. Play fake. Rivers sliding out of the pocket. And this one complete to Virgil Green. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22. Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Ready.
1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They're off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. Sturgis adds the PAT. And a route is on here in this first half. Sturgis out now to kick this one off.
He's really got me.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Back out for another drive comes LeGarrette Blount. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for it as we sit in the 2nd quarter. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Carr. He hits Beasley right side. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now a carry for Blount.
Damn it.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to weigh in, enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And Nelson's got it here right side. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Now Carr. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Again, they'll throw with Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
And a kick by Elliott is good. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points.
Foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first
Damn
down.
it.
And into the red zone now. And Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the 2nd half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Melvin Gordon now, he and the offense, they trot back out there. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get started out in Denver, and it's the Jets who have the lead in the 2nd quarter. Robbie Anderson, a touchdown reception. From there, we head through the 4 corners, down to Arizona. Check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. David Johnson, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Lastly, we head to the City of Angels. Check on the Rams at home in L.A. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Jared Goff has thrown a touchdown pass. In the game you're watching, it's the veteran Phillip Rivers who's up to his old tricks. His guys have just about put this one on ice already. As for the call of the 2nd half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw, Rivers. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
3rd and long for Rivers. And this is going to be incomplete.
The pitch.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Godwin away and bring up second down.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Early down steps will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
To throw on 3rd down, Carr. And that's caught by Beasley. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man,
big,
a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11.
Get down!
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Following the interception here, Rivers. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The Gran Turismo refuses to work.
Forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Don't know why.
They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing
Cleanest game I own.
Maybe got their second
Will not
coming
read.
out of the locker room. A toss play, Gordon. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a pickup of 17 there, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Single set. Set 180.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. And he fins him off.
Don't want to make your last game too hard.
He's lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
This is why I'm thinking about getting rid of him.
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to.
You're going to have that with any quarterback, really.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And now it's second down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside. Make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it? Running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
A good pick up there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now Carr. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Nope.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Monday, down. We waiting.
On 3rd down, Carr. The quick slant, Carr. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled.
I don't get it, though.
They're able to convert on
Like,
3rd down, and that
I
sets up
pulled
the first and
Gundam
goal.
out put it in,
Well, they've
read
got a
in
great
2
impressive
seconds.
drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive
Gran
continues.
Turismo is actually cleaner than that game right now.
For the guys on the defense
Won't
side of
we?
the ball right now. But you make your own defense happy. You're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Well, I don't even have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but and Blunt loses the football. And this is recovered by the Chargers.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
He was down. Damn it.
Kind of saw that happen.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Rivers now on 2nd down. This complete to Henry over the middle. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it. And
he's got this down to the 35. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Rivers on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry. That'll bring up second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
A second down throw for Rivers.
Hit him in the head.
Taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Virgil Green, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Shotgun now for Carr. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Desmond King picks it. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
On 1st and 10, Rivers over the middle, complete. It's Henry. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Rivers to throw it. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on third down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. On the give, this is their fullback. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Now, we're waiting.
Carr now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Alert, alert. Now, we're waiting.
Throwing again. Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, standing just outside his own goal line. Returning, it's Benjamin. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. Rivers to Allen on the hook up there. 46 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people are thinking about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, a 13-yard touchdown run. And this Chargers offense continues to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The drive starts with a handoff to Blunt. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Carr going to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... You know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And some room to maneuver. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A 1st down throw here for Rivers. Time for a break. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Raiders have recovered. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Rivers now after the fumble recovery. Going underneath for Gordon. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Sturgis for the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And Beasley with it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
Oh, my
for our
God.
Visitors, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Oakland, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.